Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing really well. As Saboni this side, and I have come back with another video. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can use Amazon Q to create your AWS resources. So let's try to understand what Amazon Q is. So it's a generative AI assistant developed by AWS. So for the past few years, you might have been wondering what generative AI is, and definitely you might have acquainted with this new technology. So it's that part of artificial intelligence which is capable of creating digital contents. So many of the images or videos or text contents that you are possibly observing over internet might be generated by one or more generative AIs. So let's try to understand how we can create a stack. So this is my AWS account. So if you log into your account, on the right side top corner, there you will find Amazon Q option. So if you want to create your stack, you simply ask for it. So let us try to give you let me try to give you an example where uh, I can give a meaningful ask here to Amazon Q. So create a function, a Lambda function, which is triggered by an IoT rule. To fine tune it, let's try to create a Python based Lambda function. So as you can see, I have asked it to create a Python based Lambda function that gets triggered by an IoT rule. So what it does, it generates a simple Lambda function code for you. Along with that, it also provides you with the CloudFormation template, which you might need to fine tune depending upon how what specific case you are trying to develop. But it gives you a rough framework which you can later work upon to meet your desired needs. So if you scroll down below, it explains what this CloudFormation template does for you, and along with that, to the steps that one should follow in order to get your stack deployed, and along with that, how to test it out. It also provides you certain security best practices like creating IAM roles, which would be assumed by your function, and it also has follows a least privilege principle, and specifying specific topics, all those things. So what I'm doing in this specific use case is, so I'm using IoT Core. So IoT Core is the service that acts as a hub where you can actually connect your IoT devices, and from there, based on certain parameters or based on certain metrics, you can actually trigger one or more Lambda function based on the rules that you are defining. So let me do one thing. Let me copy this and minimize it, and now I will go ahead and create a stack. So you can select multiple options from here. Let me select build from infrastructure compose. So if I go over here, and from here I will select template. So whatever content that I copied, I will just paste it. Okay, once I paste it, you will see this template clearly. So it comprises of following resources: a function along with the code snippet, along with that the execution role to be assumed by the function, and the IoT rule that is going to invoke my function, and along with that resource based policy of the Lambda function, which is critical here in this case because IoT rule to Lambda is an asynchronous invocation. The types of invocation I have already discussed in one of my previous videos. So I will proceed and create the template. So what it does, for the first time, if you are creating your CloudFormation template through infrastructure composer, so it's going to create a bucket for you. It's completely fine. Just click on confirm and continue. This is just a video to show you how easier it gets with Amazon Q in your development. So give a name, so IoT demo, click on next. I acknowledge. Let's go and submit. So it's going to show us how my resources are going to get created, and it's a timeline view, which I understand it's a new one. So if you click on table view, the resources, the events follows up, and if you come over here, the resources, they get created. The first resource that got created is a Lambda execution role, which should have the permission to push logs to CloudWatch. And if you refresh for some time, our stack is already created. So time for demo. Let me open this IoT processing function, and from here let me search for IoT core, and if I select from the drop down, I can select rules engine, and in the rules engine section you will find this is the trigger Lambda rule. So what it does, it internally depends upon a topic, which is a mechanism through which IoT devices communicate. So with the IoT core, so depending upon whatever information that's coming to this topic, based on that, so Lambda function will get triggered. So you can set certain contents, so it acts like a simple SQL statements. Now, so IoT core, so AWS IoT, it provides on the left side with an MQTT test client. So what I will do, I will just copy the topic name and I will go over here and I will try to subscribe to this topic from here. So it's like it's creating a mock, okay, and I will publish it for a couple of times. So this is something which I am pushing it to the topic, and ultimately it will trigger our rule, and finally my function should get invoked, which is this function over here. And as you can see, it's just a simple statement that prints the event it's receiving. So what I will do, go to the monitor section and view CloudWatch logs. So while the logs comes up, I will show you one more thing. Go to configuration and the permissions. In the permissions, you will see that the execution role has this privileges. So create log group, create log stream, and put log events. Additionally, an important one in this case is resource-based policy statements. So it basically says that if events are coming from this specific trigger, you are so IoT service is will be able to invoke this function. So this is an important aspect here for resource-based policy statements. Now let us go back to the CloudWatch log group. So these are the log streams that got created for my function, which is IoT processing function. I will click and open, and you see here it's hello from AWS IoT console. And there you go, how easily you can see that you are able to create your infrastructure. So with Amazon Q, you have wide ranges of applications. So it is capable of integrating with other AWS services and products, and it has wide range of application depending upon what your use case is. Feel free to go through this documentation and play around with Amazon Q and see, you might create wonders. Thank you once again for watching this video, and stay tuned to my channel for new contents. Wish you a great day ahead. Cheers.